Faith, the personal side. Hebrews 11:1 tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I've spoken about faith in a previous video, but here I want to go deeper and share my personal journey, in the hope that something in it will help you. There was a season in my life when I became so frustrated that I finally told God, I'm done. I could live for months, sometimes even years in victory, only to stumble for a single day and immediately fall into murmuring. The shield of faith in my mind felt tattered and worn, as if my faith itself had been spent. In that place, I began to blame God, almost to the point of accusing Him. When the trial passed, guilt would set in. During those seasons, I often asked the Father for a break from the constant attacks, just to catch my breath. Sometimes He answered that prayer. Other times, He did not. What would come back to my heart were familiar truths. My grace is sufficient for you, and we are more than conquerors. Those scriptures became my mantra. Yet the struggle was that I didn't feel like a conqueror at all. During one of the darkest periods of my life, I wasn't working, my husband had left, and I lost my house. That was my natural situation. Spiritually, however, the ministry was still moving forward, and my relationship with God seemed steady, until suddenly it wasn't. The frustration became overwhelming. I finally told God, I can't do this anymore. It wasn't just the failing or falling short that grieved me, it was the blaming. I didn't want to hurt God with my ranting anymore, so I told Him something had to change. I began to pray, fast, and seek His face for understanding. Several things became clear. First, I did not fully understand the difference between faith and presumption. Second, I did not have control over my emotions. And third, love is more than a feeling, it is an action expressed through obedience. I had heard, read, and seen so much teaching on faith. So what was the solution? The answer was surprisingly simple. It came down to negative emotions. That is where Satan gains his power. When we give in to them, we are no longer walking in step with the Spirit of God. Emotions are part of who we are, but negative emotions, when left unchecked, can destroy us. That is the battlefield where we either win or lose. In His infinite wisdom, our Father gave us a gift, His faith and His Word, to combat our emotional side. We are called to live above both positive and negative emotions, and to live by the truth of His Word. Personally, I asked God to make me a Vulcan, while I learned to bring my emotions under control. I'll admit, I am not as emotional as I once was, but now I can discern when I'm heading down the wrong path. When negative emotions arise, or when someone or something tries to pull me into that place, I make a choice. I discern whether or not I will go down that road. It is no longer an impulse, it is a decision. I've come to recognize that giving in to negative emotions is giving ground to Satan. It is a choice we make. God is the author and the finisher of our faith. And in truth, it is not really our faith at all, it is His faith, given as a gift to His children, so we can overcome. When you choose not to go down that destructive path, and instead believe what God says in His Word, you will win. Often, it won't even feel like much of a fight, because Satan really has only one weapon: negative emotion. Stop it before it takes root. Close the door to doubt and unbelief. Choose to believe what God has said. The more you do, the easier it becomes. Thank you. I hope this helps in your battles.